So let's say you're a puppet, right? Let's say you're a puppet, right? The strings in your back are lust. Or one string is lust. The other string in your elbow is impulsive decisions. The other string in your elbow is lack of motivation. I mean your shoulder. The string in your back, come on chat, help me. Help me name things. What's the song by G Herbo? Just Bars. It's an old song. This is Lil Herb. This ain't G Herbo. Come on, help me name things, chat. The string in your back is what? The string in your back is what? Let's just name a bunch of things. Let's just go across the whole arm. Insecurity, right. The string in your shoulder is what? Lack of confidence. The string in your elbow is procrastination. And this string is depression. So that's all the things that control you. Like, you're the puppet though. And to get your control back, you change what you do instead of cutting the strings. And that would be buying crystals, no fat, semen retention, wearing different clothes. You're changing what you do, but you never cut your strings. And catch this. Here we are about to drown. The same strings control you. The same strings are still attached in you. You're just doing something different, but you're not even realizing that. And I'm trying to really get this metaphor of the puppet and the strings, right? Because guess what? It's a thin line right here between y'all realizing what is the difference between what I do and who I am and what controls me as a person. Right? I know as a lot of y'all listening right now, this is the part where y'all probably saying like, it's like, I don't really get it yet, right? So here's where I can jump in and say this. Name one of the strings I just mentioned, and we'll show the swap in the behavior, in the subconscious, and in the conscious mind that really is a shift in the who I am. Name one of the strings. Lust or insecurity? Which one do y'all want? I feel like insecurity is a much more plain and blatant one to open up. Lust is a bit more intricate. It's a bit more detailed. Let's start with insecurity. How about let's start with insecurity? It's a much more obvious one. So one of the strings being insecurity, lack of self-control. So one thing you do, name something someone does to convince themselves they're not insecure. In woman, one of the things we always notice, we always call it out. What is it, chat? Call it out right now. In woman, right? And ladies, I do not say this to single y'all out, but I'm gonna go to the same one for men. Makeup, surgery to the body. Okay, and let's flip to men. Insecure. Name two obvious ones. Somebody said attention. There you go. Exactly. But for men, it could be the same thing. Because men can use the attention from women to validate themselves as well. Working out. Dick size. You can change your dick size, but dick size is not the same as putting on makeup. Flexing money. Right. Flexing money and putting on a bunch of weight. So watch this. Follow me. We went with insecurity. And for women, we said put on makeup, and we said getting surgery done. We went insecurity. And for men, we said working out, and we said flexing money. Real security is this. Real security is this. I am what I am who I am, and I am how I am, and I accept myself fully without changing anything. Before I even change anything, I'm secure in whatever, whoever, or however I am right here, right now. No muscles, money, no money. That is security. Security is I have makeup on, I don't have makeup on, my body doesn't look right, or my body looks right. I am secure. That is true security. Getting security from what you do is again, like I said, going outside of yourself. Placebo. You are not secure. You are conditionally insecure and conditionally secure. That's not true security. And I'll wait. Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to drown? Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to drown? It's conditional security. Then those are those people. Guess what? Remember I said the string is still attached? They never cut the string. They just did something different. Those are those people. They wake up. They feel bloated. Their stomach looks what? Or their face looks fat. They go right back to feeling insecure. That fast. Because they were always insecure. They just focused on what they were doing and they convinced themselves that they weren't. And then the moment they get rejected, the moment that their body is off a little bit, they go back to feeling low because they never dealt with the issue. That doesn't happen when you're secure. That doesn't happen when you're secure. It's not conditional. It is not conditional. Come on now. Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to drown? What kind of stream y'all want this to be, man? What kind of stream do y'all want this to be? What kind of stream do y'all want this to be? A drug that wears off. Come on, man. It's medicine. It make you feel good temporarily. And this is why I'm talking to y'all about the celibacy thing, the semen retention thing, no fap, going to the gym. This is conditional security. Now let me tell y'all what the difference is. I can be secure and still want to improve. However, the intention is to meet my goal, not to feel better about myself. I may say, you know what, I want to be 160. I like my body better when I'm 160, or I may want to lose weight. I like having a six pack. It feels better. Guess what? Guess who's the judger? Guess who's the judge? Here's the difference, chat. Here's the main difference between conditional security and true security. I'm the judge. I don't judge myself from someone else's eyes. I'm the judge. I don't say, oh, my face looks fat in the mirror. This woman may like me less. I don't say, oh, my gut is fat. This woman may like me less. I say, I don't like having a gut. I don't like not having a six pack. This is a me to me conversation. I'm the captain of this ship. I'm the master of my soul. I am secure in myself, and this is a conversation between me and me. It is not conditional on anything else. I am deciding, and I'm in control. There are no strings in my back. There's no insecurity. I am making these decisions. I am who is the difference connected now? Because I try to use that metaphor with the puppet and the strings, and then I name one of the strings, and it would continue. Is everything making sense, chat? Like I said, this is off the top of my head. I really can make a whole video on this. I wouldn't even know what the title is though. But I'm just saying. Whew, I'm gonna catch my breath for a second. Say vibe. Yeah. I only understand on the surface level, but I'm getting a little more. And that's alright. That's alright. That's why you talk to, you talk to somebody who is outside of your mental complexity or your mental level, and then you begin to see it's not going to make sense. It really shouldn't. You may be able to listen here and say, okay, I kind of get it, and I kind of get the first thing. Again, remember the pyramid of self-mastery. The lowest level was self-awareness. The first thing you should be saying to yourself right now is, damn, I'm kind of aware how I have been convincing myself, or I have been conditionally becoming secure or confident based on these conditions, and I've only been lying to myself. If you can snap in and out of security or confidence like this, if your insecurity can come right back, you're not secure. You've only changed the I do. That string of insecurity is still in your back. You're still a puppet. You cannot listen. I don't give a fuck if I had on a $10 million outfit or I had on a $10 outfit. I can approach a woman the same. I don't give a fuck if I have a haircut or no haircut. If I'm in a work uniform or no work uniform. I still believe in myself the same as I do as a man. I could have a bad morning. I still believe my day is going to be great. I could get rejected by 5 women, 10 women, 20 women in a row. I'm the same motherfucker before and after. 20 women could pick me in a row. I'm the same motherfucker because my confidence and my sense of self is not conditional, and it should not be, unless I'm convincing myself and using things outside of myself, whether it be validation of another person, what I can and cannot do, what I am wearing or am not wearing, or what a person says or does not say. Come on, man. Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to drown? Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to drown? Right, we could drop the mic right there if y'all want to. We could drop the mic right there. Temporarily. Message for myself and her within me, but I did not take it until now. Bro, we already drowned. I'm drowning. Alright, so we can slow it down then. We can slow down. I was just getting started. That was the intro. Mind you, we named 10 strings. We didn't even get to the strings or the hands on the hands of the puppet strings. We didn't even get to, not being the puppet. We didn't even, come on, man. We just was talking about healing and placebos and trying to define yourself based on things outside of yourself. And that was just one example. Oh, my folks called me back. Hey, Grandpa, what's good? Yeah, I'm home. My fault. You called me earlier. I was out shopping. Well, it was delayed, but I missed the first one, and then I ended up being at the airport. We ain't ended up leaving till like 9 o'clock. We ended up leaving. Yeah, same day. Yeah, fortunately, my joint ain't get canceled.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
How you feel, man?
Feeling great. I'm live right now. I actually had a question.
Okay.
All right. So first, how long have you been married, Grandpa?
I've been married about 12 years.
12. Okay. Good. How do you feel about when somebody feel like they gotta go through another person's phone?
Well, then the relationship is wrong.
All right. Why you say that?
Well, if that's a trust issue, and if you can't trust a person, you in the wrong place, and so it's like I said, my phone could be right there. I don't go through my wife's phone; she don't go through my phone. At a certain point in your life, you got to come out the rain. You got to stop playing games. You got to stop being that kid that you used to be, and
right.
The man is supposed to be.
Right.
And the other thing is, if you expect, you put these high expectations on women, then you got to be able to live up to them same expectations. That old stuff where, it's cool and I do what I do, no, that's for young boys.
Young boys.
Okay, grown up, like they say, when you're a man, you do man things. When you do things as a boy, you did kid things, you did boy things.
Right.
And you grow up and you move on. You try to handle your business. You try to look out for your family. You try to be a family.
Right.
So all that going through the phone, certain things you went through when you were younger, that's fine. But as you get older, no, you ain't supposed to still be doing that.
No, you just dropped a lot of game right there. You ever went through somebody's phone?
Huh?
You ever went through somebody's phone?
No. That's never been my thing. That's never been my thing. Because just like I said, first of all, I try to pick good people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you got good people, then that's where it starts at. It's just like when you got a company or you building things, you build good relationships and you don't deal with that kind of stuff. You see it coming and you leave it alone. But if you think you can change people from who they are, then you're wrong. A lot of times this is who they are, this is who they've been, and this is who they're going to continue to be. Trust is a big thing. If you can't be trusted, then guess what? Then you can't expect her to be trusted. Real
talk. Yeah, I remember you told me that story that one time, and you was like, y'all was at the track, and the dudes came at y'all woman in front of y'all, and he was like, yo, let's go over there, and you was like, no, because if she need me, she'll look back at me. You said something like that. You remember?
See, yeah, because the thing is, we were at the track and they were running. They're jogging around the track. and I was up there watching. The other guy, he ran around with his wife, and then when he got done, he came up there with me. And so he said, they get ready to talk to our women. I said, okay. He said, they talking to our women. I said, okay. He said, that don't bother you. I said, first of all, I got a good looking woman. So I'm not down there. So I expect them to try to crack on her. Okay? If there's a problem, she can handle it. But when it goes past that, I'll know, and she'll let me know, and I can handle it from there. But the thing is, she carries herself right. And the thing is, she would say things to people that you don't have to curse them out, but you can say, no, thank you, and I'm not interested. But if you stand there still flirting with her, then guess what? That gives them the green light. You know, and she's not that kind of girl. She don't carry herself like that. She know.
So you would call that like if a woman was friendly? Because it's a lot of debates online, like where like dudes talk about, you know, having a girl that's super friendly, and sometimes they may be naive or inconsiderate of what they're opening the door to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I get that part, because a lot of times people want to play games and lie to themselves for what it really is. A lot of times, you know, just like you, if you get out certain places, you know how to conduct yourself with somebody. You know that you're supposed to, you know, be with them. But the thing is that the opportunity comes to something you looking at and you say, hey, that don't look bad. Okay? And you know where the boundaries is, and you know when you're crossing them lines. Okay? So it's all about lying or being straight with yourself. You know? So like I said, the thing is with her, I don't worry about that. You know, again, it's all about how you treat people. You know, how you carry yourself. The people that you choose to be in your life. You know, if you're dealing with a bunch of crooks and thieves, and that's where you think everybody is. You know?
Real time.
And you try to be, you know, be a righteous person, and you try to be straight, and you know, the thing is that's how you carry yourself. And people, they know the difference. They know the person that's a straight person, that's a straight shooter, you know, they know the difference. You know?
Yeah. I had to ask that conversation because a lot of people on the internet, you know, when you talk about this going through somebody's phone conversation, and it's like, yo, to my belief, I compared it to like if I left $300 in a car, and one of my homies was riding passenger, and I felt like they was going to take that. Like if I felt like I couldn't walk in the gas station without leaving, you know, and that money would be of a liability, or they might take some of the money. They shouldn't even be in my car to begin with.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So just like the phone, I feel like I shouldn't even have to go through your phone or question it, depending on if I trust you. Now the only thing I said it's a difference if things ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? And it's some inconsistencies going on, which would lead me to be suspicious to begin with. But
even with that, as you get to know people, you know, they show who they are. Okay, but just like I said, certain signs, if you want to ignore it because she's so fine that you give her that pass, then you're gonna keep giving passes, but they're gonna do what they do anyway. If you're gonna be smart, like they say, the red flags come up. It's whether you choose to ignore them or you choose to act on them. Some people can't handle the fact that she ain't the one, or she don't carry herself the way I needed to, and I gotta leave this alone. So they try
cut off immediately.
Exactly. Because it's just like if a snake bites you, you know, you got to get that poison out. You play games, guess what? It's gonna come back to bite you. That might take a couple hours, might take a couple minutes, you know. But guess what? It's gonna catch up with you.
No, girl, you dropping a lot of game right here. So I got like two more questions. I don't want to take too much of your time. So you've been married 12 years. How long have you known Nancy before that?
Well, before that, we was together 10 years. And one of the reasons why it took me so long to marry her is because she had kids and they were in school. And see, once the last one went to college, that's when I got engaged. Because the thing is, I never want to hear a kid say, "You took my mother," you know, making excuses, you know, and everything like that. So as soon as she went to college, we got engaged, and the following year we was married.
That's right.
Okay? So, you know, kids make all kinds of excuses for why and the reasons to be disrespectful. So let's take that away from the beginning. Let's let the kids be a kid and grow and with their mom and everything like that. So,
all right. Yeah. And I had another question, and I was going to ask, you know what I'm saying, since we talking about, you know, trusting dependable characters, what's some red flags you think a guy should look at, or some obvious signs he'd be like, you know, this is a woman who does not deserve trust or who is not trustworthy?
Well, it's like I said from the beginning. If they so everything revolves around money, if they money hungry about every little thing, and just the way she carries herself, see, they like to say I'm a little flirtatious. Nah, see, when you with me, like you would want me to carry myself a certain way. Guess what? All that I can be winking and blinking too. I can step off and say, "Hey, how you doing?" But guess what? I'm with you, so I'm giving you my undivided attention. She's busy smiling and everything like that. Okay, yeah, a lot of people like you. Okay, well, maybe you need to be with them. And I'm fine.
Maybe you need to be with them. Hey, you quick to show the door, huh?
Exactly. Because guess what? We don't need to play the game. We don't need to play games like this.
Right.
It's just like one time I met a girl. She was on drugs. Okay, I didn't know because she kept running back to the bathroom. I'm like, why she keep going to the bathroom? Somebody said, yeah, she in there getting high, snorting some coke and everything. All right, well, I'm done. Let's see. This girl was gorgeous. You don't want nothing to do with her? I said, no. Nothing?
She was bad.
No. And I was done with her.
Damn.
Because I'm not going to chase you around for you to be on drugs and me to try to fix you when, guess what? You'll be taking me down further.
For real.
See, I love me enough. I love me enough to be honest with me. Okay?
Big facts.
I'm not selfish because the thing is, I'll do whatever I can for you, but at the same time, I love me first.
Love me first.
Exactly. And that's what you got to do. You got to love you. And if people respect you and they love you back the way you need to be, then guess what? Then you got to do that. But if they full of crap and they disrespect you and keep making excuses for it and everything like that, you ain't got no relationship. It's nothing good.
No, we just dropped a lot of game, Grandpa. I had to ask because, nowadays, people make it seem like that's normal and there's something wrong with you if you're not checking the other person's phone. But they don't even realize the positioning you have to be in to try to do that to begin with. You're in a position where you're with a person and you don't even have your peace of mind. You're sitting there questioning things and Mr. Detective and that who want to be with somebody that adds that amount of anxiety and stress? I'd rather just leave.
You know something? I was with my wife, like I said. So now, let's say close to 30 years. Okay, put it like. Okay, with her kids, I never had to worry about them stealing anything. I could put money down. We never had that issue. Okay? We never had those issues. Okay? So just like I said, the thing is, it's all about the people you choose. If they can't be trusted, or maybe even if you can't be trusted, maybe you got to change who you are and you got to make changes within yourself first. Okay? Then when you make them changes, make the same changes with the company you keep. Be around trustworthy people. It's all about how you treat them and how they treat you.
No, we just dropped a lot of game, Grandpa. You just dropped a lot of game, man. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that for sure.
Well, I hope to see you soon in the next couple of days.
All right, for sure. I'm going to come down.
All right. I love you and have a good night, okay?
I love you too.
All right.
Talk to you.
Bye.
All right.